Hey there, nation. Welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with another episode of Spoils of War. This is a series of videos dedicated to beer, whiskey, as well as cigar reviews. And on this episode, we're looking at Stranahan's Colorado whiskey. So it is a beautiful evening. It just got done raining. As you can see some of the water from the background there. It's always nice when it rains here where I live at, because it makes the area nice and cool, makes the things a little bit, more manageable than the unbearing heat of the mid-afternoon sun. So because of that, decided to come out here and enjoy a little glass of some fine quality whiskey on this one. This time, it's Stranahan's. And as always, this video is dedicated to our brother in arms across the seas. So, Big Puka, if you're out there and you're listening to this, man, this one's for you. So, as you can see, this is a huge bottle. It's very, very tall. It's also capped with a tin cup here on the top. Also kind of serves you up as well. It has a cork stopper on the top there. So this is one of the latest, well, it's a newer whiskey. Came out a couple of years ago, this brand. I'm starting to see a lot of Colorado whiskeys started to come out onto the market. Stranahan's is is one of the big ones that are coming out. Another really good one that's coming out now is 291. So anybody who's in the whiskey world knows about 291. They won numerous awards, but this one is Stranahan's, and it's also a very delicious whiskey as well. So we're going to review this one real quick. So as you can see, it's about 47% 47% alcohol by volume. So it's 94 proof. And as you can see, if we turn around on your back here, there's a little bit of literature on it. It says, this is Stranahan's Colorado whiskey. It comes straight from the Rocky Mountains and is aged for a minimum of 2 years in our new char-oaked barrels. It is non-chill, filtered, and handmade in small batches, distilled and bottled by Stranahan's Colorado Whiskey, Denver, Colorado. And I don't know if you guys remember, we actually did a little video a little while ago about Tin Cup, which is another big whiskey company that came out. It had a little bit of controversy because when it first arrived on the market, it branded itself as a Colorado whiskey, even though it was distilled in Indiana someplace, and it used Colorado water to cut it. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the Stranahan's distillery, which is the company that makes this, as well as a little bit more about the whiskey. So let's go and talk about that real quick. Alright, so just a little bit about the history about the company. The company, Stranahan's Distillery, was actually located up in Denver, Colorado, like I said before. It's actually established by two guys, Jess Graber as well as George Stranahan. Both of them basically had a love for whiskeys. I believe one of them was a pub owner. The other one was a firefighter, if I remember correctly, a volunteer firefighter. And that's how basically they kind of came up with this idea of making a Colorado whiskey, using grains from Colorado as well as water to do it. Because apparently Colorado water has like really good, properties for distilling both whiskeys as well as making beer as well. It is a single malt whiskey. It is 100% malted barley, so that part's kind of cool. And if you notice here, you also got a little bit of a booklet here in the back. So let's go ahead and take that off real quick and just crack this open and read it. So you see here we have some literature in here. It says, born in the fires of George Stranahan's old barn, our whiskey has always been handcrafted exclusively with Colorado grains and Rocky Mountain spring water. It says straight barreled, rugged and strong. Stranahan's whiskey is double distilled in small batches from our proprietary blend of 4 barleys and then aged in virgin charred American white oak barrels. So very, very important about that part as well. If I remember correctly, it is also part of the law that it has to actually be, aged in charred oak barrels. And in fact, it's what actually gives whiskey its distinctive color. If you always want to know what whiskey is, always like a brownish amber gold color. The reason why is because when you actually distill whiskey, it's actually clear when the process actually comes out. That's why like illegal alcohols like moonshine from back during the days of Prohibition was clear, because they didn't age it. The reason why you don't age is because when you actually age the whiskey, what ends up happening is that you're actually decreasing the level of alcohol over time, because alcohol evaporates through the barrel process. But by aging it, you also kind of like enrich some of the flavors from the oak, so it kind of gives it this flavoring that it has to it, as well the coloring from the from the different enzymes and stuff that are inside of the oak barrels when it's aging as well, which gives its distinctive golden brown color, and that's where it kind of comes from. That's why it looks the way that it does, because it ages in those barrels. And it's done that way by law, so that way, you don't get a bad batch of alcohol that'll make you go blind or something like that as well. And so that's the reason why this product is. So we're going to pop the cork on this one. We're going to also pour ourselves a glass real quick, and we'll go and start with the review. Alright, so we poured ourselves a small amount here of the whiskey. Just going to take a look at it here. As you can see, it has this very lovely golden amber color. That is one of the nice features about this whiskey. It's got a very beautiful amber color. Most whiskeys do have this rich kind of golden amber look about them, which is also pretty awesome as well. Let's go ahead and see what kind of notes we get off the aroma. Very much a very sweet aroma that we get from the notes on this one as well. Kind of a little bit of like a honey, kind of like a sugary kind of honey aroma with it as well. You also have a little bit of the tang because of the alcohol, of course, but you also have like a little bit of a oakiness to it. Let me go ahead and take a smell again. Very much so, very honey sweetness applied to it. Same thing with a little bit of that, little bit of that oakiness to it. So let's go ahead and take a sip real quick and see how it tastes. So to all of you guys on the interwebs, cheers. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. Very good. All right, so right off about thing about Stranahan's. Stranahan's is very, very smooth. Usually when you drink a lot of whiskeys, you actually have like this very strong bite that a lot of whiskeys end up having. Usually that's the reason why people get kind of turned off to things like whiskey, because of that strength to it, the initial like, wow, you're definitely drinking whiskey. If you're ever drinking whiskey before and you actually, the first time you try it, most people remember is the burn of the whiskey as well as like the initial like kind of burning sensation in your mouth from it. But this one actually doesn't have any of that. It's very, very smooth as well. It also has kind of like a very, when you first take a sip of it, it's got a very strong, sweet flavor to it. And I would just say a little bit of like a honeyness is what it is. Kind of like reminds me of like a little bit of a mild sweetness like honey is what you get out the front. Mouthfeel on this is very good. It's kind of like kind of gives you kind of like a dry mouth feeling a little bit after you take a sip of it. So very good there. Mid flavors a little less, not so much spicy like some of the other ones I've had. Like if you've ever had bourbons before, bourbons tend to be very, very spicy with a very strong vanilla flavor usually when it comes to bourbons. But this one has a very mild sweetness to it. So it's not like you're drinking saccharin or anything like that, or sugar, but it has a slight sweetness to it. Very, very smooth. Let's go ahead and take another sip of this real quick and see what we get. Like I said before, very, very sweet up front. So you have that mild sweetness up in the front. It kind of dissipates over time. Very, very smooth, no real burn as per se. Overall, just another excellent product and another perfect example of some delicious whiskey. So if you get a chance, go and buy yourself a bottle of this and give it a try. So that's going to do it for this one, you guys. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the rest of this evening and finish out the rest of my whiskey. As always, you guys, please feel free to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, as well as blogger.com for all the latest and greatest what we're doing for our hobbies. Also, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is always valuable to us, always. And Big Pook, if you're watching this one, we're definitely drinking this when you get back, buddy. So with that being said, folks, that's going to do it for this one. You guys stay classy. Peace out and good evening.